Oh. All right, it's time for episode 19 of Wine, Music, and Games. We've got another great French white for you this time. An awesome, probably his best album that we've got for music, and a cool new game that we just picked up about trains. So Wine, Music, and Games, hitting you right now. So how you doing, honey bunch?
Very good. How are you, dear?
I am fantastic, as always, sitting next to the woman I love. It is good, playing games, listening to some music, and drinking some good wine.
And let me tell you, this one's real good.
Yes, exactly. Now, before you get to it, remember, subscribe, hit the bell. You can sponsor the podcast by going to patreon.com and listen to our audio podcast, which also comes out every week. So, Shell, hit us up with that wine.
So this is from Chateau de Fontenille. It's Entre du Mer is the...
Entre du Mer.
Entre du Mer.
She's going Entre du Mer.
Well, mer is the same in Spanish,
yes,
right?
It is. Yes.
For water, right? Or
the entry of the sea.
Entry of the sea. That's the appellation where this is from. And it's from La Sauve, which is the town.
But it's a Bordeaux, which is the region.
It's a Bordeaux region.
Yes.
And this is 50% Sauvignon Blanc, 20% Sauvignon Gris, 20% Muscadel, and 10% Semillon.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we bought many cases of this because it is probably one of my new favorites, right?
Yeah.
This wine is very complex. It smells heavenly. It's got tropical tastes and smells and peach and just pretty much anything that you would consider perfect in a wine. I would have to say this is it. And this is the bargain of the century. I highly recommend that you buy as many cases as you can, like we did. You can actually get this in our region. We got it at Costco, which is hard to imagine, but they actually do have some very, very good wine. And we often will read the descriptions and then pick out something that we think, like, especially if it's a white that is kind of a combination of other varietals, and when we find out that it's not oaked. And we do like some oaked white wine, but we really like one that, is a little more crisp, fits with almost all the food that we eat. According to the back of this bottle, they recommend it for sauerkraut dishes, paellas, seafood, goat cheese. These are all delicious things, but I can tell you that we partake not with none of those things and think it tastes great with everything that we eat. So I even think, which we have not tried, would be like Thai or Indian food. I think
because it has a little sweetness to it.
It has a little sweetness with that muscadel.
Just a little bit with the muscadel.
And that gives it also, I think, like a little bit of the smell is much more
perfume,
profound. That perfumed, a little bit floral type of smell that comes from muscadel. That
can you tell
it's
she's talking
usually
about
too
this a little
sweet,
bit?
a little too sweet. If you were, for me, just to drink it by itself, but it blended in with just a little splash of that. Oh my gosh. It is
unoaked
delicious.
wine is what we really like. So the kind of the
biggest
biggest right, the biggest wine regions, the big B's, if you will, in France are Burgundy and Bordeaux. So Bordeaux, they do a lot of blending, whereas Burgundy, as if you know it, is where you're going to find your Chardonnay grapes primarily, and of course oaked stuff. So we are actually much less a fans of Burgundy wine than we are of Bordeaux wine.
But if you Burgundy wines are much more expensive.
Much more expensive.
So you're looking at 3 to 4 times the amount.
Yes.
This is a $14 bottle.
Yeah, it's really
and like I said, it is
solid stuff.
It's beautiful.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
All right, the music now. A lot of people would say, okay, what is this guy's best album? And there are a lot of different possible choices. I would say that this album is his magnum opus, and that is Prince's Sign of the Times. This is a phenomenal album. Now, if you go back to some of his early stuff and, everything from Controversy and such, he starts to really make a name for himself with the coming of MTV and 1999 hitting the airwaves with Little Red Corvette and so on. And then, of course, he shoots into the stratosphere with Purple Rain.
Yeah.
But Sign of the Times, I think, is is the album that just shows how prolific and just what an amazing Renaissance man as a composer and performer he is. The songs are just all over the spectrum, and this, of course, comes from what I was very lucky to get, and here's the book that came with it. This is a 9+ disc set.
He's very prolific,
the
obviously.
Complete Sign of the Times that I can't recommend enough. Yeah, it is overkill if you were to listen to it all at once, but man, is it amazing what Prince was able to accomplish on this album and so many of his albums. This is just phenomenal.
Prince is unbelievable. So we could listen to his stuff a lot.
I mean, we did kind of overkill 1999, which also came out in a deluxe version.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a lot of keyboard and sequencing on this. Here, he's got a full band.
Oh,
it's
lovely.
just amazing.
Lovely, yeah.
The power and the grandiosity, if you will, of some of the pieces here. From the track, that opens it up, Sign of the Times, that talking about drug addiction and AIDS and everything. But all that down to one of our favorite, Starfish and Coffee, which is just this beautiful,
that's so great.
Poetic look at childhood innocence and imagination.
And he sang that on Sesame Street.
Yeah, he did. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
we love Prince, and
it's an awesome album.
Yeah,
if you don't have
I mean,
great stuff.
Everybody knows his stuff. So.
All right. So then our game this week is a small box game, or fairly small box game, which turns out to be really big in terms of the time commitment. That is Mini Express.
It didn't take long to play.
Oh, that's what I say. It's a heavy game given the time commitment that you've got, right?
Because it's
all right. Yeah. So Mark Gerrits, great. Almost perfect last name, I'm just going to say.
Yeah, that's true.
This is from Moaideas Game Design. Play it 1 to 5 players. It says 40 to 60 minutes on the box, but once you know this, a 2-player game definitely can fit in 30 minutes. Now, my one caveat with this game, and by the way, awesome little trains, though I wish they had painted the back. But my one big caveat with this game is that if you get it and try to play a 2-player, just pay no attention to this, do as the easier version, play with the AI. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Now, if you're going to play a solo version of the game, you would have to play with an AI. But with 2 players who are gamers...
The advanced version is so much better.
Yeah.
Great game. We played this with the AI, and I was like, oh my God, this is so fiddly. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And then we did it with the thing, and we're like, okay, let's play that again, because this is great.
It's so fun if you just don't use the AI.
Right.
The 2-player variant, which is just that you would start with 1 turn for the first player, then 2, and then 2 and 2, and then when you end it, it has to be on 1.
We did the Kickstarter, and so it's actually in the box. You get a double-sided board, but then you've got these nice player mats you can substitute instead of the cardboard board. So really fun stuff. Mini Express.
Well, and it's great because some train games they can take a long time.
Yeah, they can.
Right, and this one is very fast,
streamlined,
but
great stuff,
and lots of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was that wine again, honey?
Oh, okay. This is Entre deux Mers by that's the region. This is Chateau de Fontenille, and
from Bordeaux.
It's
from
a Bordeaux
France.
region, and just get it. It's good. It's good.
Good stuff. And Prince's Sign of the Times, phenomenal album. Pull it off your shelf, stream it, or see if you can still find the vinyl. I know that's out there. And finally, as the game, Mini Express from Moaideas and Mark Gerrits. Great stuff this week from Wine, Music, and Games. We hope you enjoyed the episode 19. Head over to patreon.com to sponsor the podcast and this video series, and have an amazing and great week. Take care. Bye.